Many people have trouble sticking to a budget. Every month they plan, then they overspend, then they beat themselves up about it. Today I'm going to give you 5 tips to sticking to your monthly money plan so you can save more money, grow your wealth, and achieve your financial goals. In order to stick to your budget, you have to set yourself up for success by being realistic. It's good to be excited to get your finances in order and to cut costs wherever you can, but you will never stick to a budget that is not realistic. And an easy way to help you be realistic is to review your historical spending over the last several months to understand where you have overspent. And you need to look at more than just your last budget because you need to see the trends and where you're consistently going over budget. Every time I used to go grocery shopping, my kids would beg and plead to come with me, and I would always cave and let them come. So I would have all 4 of them with me begging for stuff as I shopped. Not smart. I would overspend on groceries every time. And after a few months, I knew I had to get my food spending under control. So I took a look at what we were buying and how much we spent on groceries the last 5 months, and noticed that we went over an average of $100 on food every month. After you understand what you're truly spending, then you can do some research to understand what the typical person or family spends in that category. And then you decide if you need to increase it or put in some spending controls so that you can stay on budget. I was curious, how much does the average family spend on food? According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, a low-cost food plan for my family would cost $1,338 a month. What in the world? We were only spending $500 a month. So needless to say, our food budget went up. And you should do this for every standard item in your budget. Take that info and see what needs to change. The second tip is to list and account for your one-time annual expenses. Everyone has expenses that are reoccurring and only happen every 6 or 12 months, such as life insurance premiums, annual subscriptions, Christmas, car insurance, tax and annual car registration fees, and taxes, just to name a few. And even though we all know they're coming, they still catch us off guard because we just forget about them. Having these expenses right next to you when you're doing your budget helps you remember that they exist and that you can probably do without some of them. Sinking funds. A sinking fund is a fund established by setting money aside monthly over a period of time to fund a future expense. So if your car insurance is $1,200 every 6 months, then you should set aside $200 every month so you can make sure this expense is covered. You should also use a sinking fund to save for big purchases like a computer, a car, a wedding, or a down payment on a house. Don't put your head in the sand and then say you have no other option but to go into debt to buy something that you should have been saving for. Determine what items you need to save for, how much will they cost, when will you need it, and calculate how much you have to save each month to be able to pay for it cash. Change your mind on budgeting. A lot of people don't stick to a budget because they see it as too restrictive. It's sort of like a diet, and nobody likes them because they don't work, and as soon as you hear the word, your stomach starts to growl and you want to go eat. In the same way, as soon as people hear the word budget, people get annoyed and think of all the things that they can't buy. So you have to change your mindset and even call it something different. I call it a monthly money plan. Start using your money plan as a way to get what you want. And your monthly money plan should include things like blow money, so you can spend that money and know that you're not going into debt or that it will cause money fights with your family in the future. Use your money plan to dream. When you see money pile up in your sinking funds and you can see yourself getting closer to your goals, your money plan can be a big motivator. Or if you're motivated to get out of debt and you just want to get from under the thumb of the banks, then your budget can motivate you when you see all this money being paid to debt and you see the balance going slowly down. Have a vision for your money and have a vision for your life, and use your money plan as a launching pad to get you there. Tip number 5 is to implement control measures. One of the biggest hurdles to sticking to your money plan is you, the person in the mirror. We all have bad habits, impulses, memory lapses, and make bad decisions. Personal finance is personal, so you have to be honest with yourself about your spending habits so that you can make a plan and achieve your financial goals. You can leverage certain methods to control you. Don't fight temptation, flee from it. So if you know you spend too much money every time you go to the grocery store, leave your card at home and pay cash. If you know you pay late fees every month because you didn't pay your bills on time, then set up everything on automatic draft payments. If you know you're always eating out for lunch because you hit the snooze button in the morning one too many times and you have to rush to work without packing your lunch, then you need to make your lunch the day before or meal plan for the week. These are just a few control measures, but there are so many more. Tip number 6 is to simply write it down. And if you need help doing a zero-based budget, I have another video right here for you to watch.